Hi, I'm sitting here with Weili Chen.
Hi everyone.
Weili is one of the instructors in the biggest HEMA club in China.
Right now, yes.
And we are sitting in your hometown of Shanghai right now, after 1 weekend of hard longsword training.
Yes, yes.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, Weili, and how you come to start HEMA?
Okay, I first start to practice kendo in Canada as a foreign student at there, and then after practicing kendo like 5 years, I saw some video from YouTube about HEMA, and I think, wow, that's what I want. That's real fancy. So I decided to start to learn HEMA, and I Google it, Google the local HEMA club, and I found one. It was really close to where I live, so I was very pleased to train there.
So you started to train HEMA in North America?
In Montreal.
In Montreal?
Montreal, after Victoria, with Pascal. He's my instructor. Yes.
And then you moved back to China?
Yes, I moved back to China in 2016, 2 years ago. And then I joined the club in Shanghai.
So there were HEMA clubs in
Yes,
China.
it is. But at that time it was really small. We have like 10 registered members, and we don't have regular classes. We just have it's more like a study group, and we just read some texts, read some menus, and they just try to reconstruct some like movements, some technique, but they are not that good, I have to say that.
But now you tell me that you have over 100 members.
Yes,
after
now
only not even 3 years.
Yeah,
That
less
is-
than 3 years.
That is amazing.
Yeah, like two years ago, we are in a very small wrestling club, and it can only fencing like with how to say, two or three guys at a time. But now we have now we move to the downtown, and our say the salon was really big.
So
We are very pleased.
So what kind of weapons do you train in your club? And what is the name of the club?
It's after Victoria. Yes, I train longsword a little bit, and I train Bolognese swordsmanship, including side sword, sword and buckler, sword and dagger, and I train saber. Yeah.
But is the club in China called Austin Military?
No. In China we call Shanghai Huben Historical European. Sorry again. Shanghai Huben Historical Martial Art.
And what is Huben?
Huben is a Asian name for it. It means elite army in Chinese.
Okay. And what kind of weapons do you train in?
I train Bolognese side sword, Bolognese sword and buckler, and the Hatton saber.
And how to say?
Yeah.
Okay. And how often do you train in your club?
We train twice a week.
Twice a week.
Yeah.
Okay. So it says historical martial arts, not specifically European martial arts. So you also train Chinese.
Of course. I train Baji Da Chang, which is a long spear. Yeah.
So you said earlier that you saw HEMA and you said this is real fencing.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, we using the more authentic weapon than other martial arts, and we reconstruct this art through menus, and instead of from masters. And from my personal experience, I found lots of the masters who claim has a lineage are not that good.
In modern fencing or in Eastern martial arts?
In Eastern martial arts, mostly.
Oh,
In
okay.
Eastern martial arts. So I don't trust them anymore. So I think the martial art that was reconstructed from menu are more authentic, are more practical. Yeah.
But I know I read about swordsmanship being used in China up until relatively recently in the Chinese army during the 20th century. But there are no living lineages from there.
It's lots. I believe there are true masters there, but maybe there are too many fraud. I don't.
So they are hard to find.
Hard to find, yeah.
Is that why people in China are attracted to historical European martial arts?
Of course, exactly. That's one of the big reasons here, because I would say we teach the real thing, real stuff.
That's it's funny because in Europe, of course, people say that China, when Asia has the real martial arts, and in Europe we have nothing. It's funny how those things go both ways.
Okay.
But the grass is always greener on the other side.
Right, I believe so.
So tell me about HEMA in China.
Okay. Right now, HEMA in China, we have about 7 or 8 running club right now, and numerous study groups, because it will popping up almost every week. New study groups everywhere, almost everywhere, even in the most remote area. And I think HEMA will be very popular in China in the future.
So I know I have met Chinese HEMA practitioners everywhere, in Europe and in North America, and in Australia, and of course now in Taiwan and China as well. And I found a very dedicated and skilled community. So what do you think is the development of HEMA in China? What will happen here?
I think the difference from China and Europe is that in China people are more interested in new stuff, and there are more business opportunities. But in Europe or in North America, it seems that how to say, the development was not that quick.
Yeah, I have never heard of any other club going from 10 to 100 in a matter of a few years like here. It's incredible.
Yes.
So, so you think there's a big potential for HEMA in China to become huge with professional clubs, I suppose, if you say that there are business opportunities as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so people
are who want to promote their business, or like last year we joined, or maybe 2 years. Last year in Shenzhen we have a show. I using Bolognese side sword, and my partner using sabers. We fencing on the stage. It's a competition. In fact, it's this they host an event. The competition was MMA fighters, and we are just like on tape. It's how to say, too attractive for attractiveness. I think it's hard to put it into words. Because the market in China is really big, so more business opportunity. It's not just the fight, the sports, the MMA fighting, the stuff. We also have like carnivals, the cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? The show name?
We
Comic Con.
Yeah,
Comic Con.
We know. We have seen things like cosplay in the West.
Yeah. Comic Cons. We have been invited to Comic Cons several times.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How to make exhibitions?
Yeah.
I saw that video.
And in the clubs too, the nightclub. We fight in nightclubs too. Yes. It's really a good experience, I have to say.
That's
And
fantastic.
they pay well.
So I have just a few finishing questions. You say that your perception is that in Asia there are many real masters, but there are also so many who you don't consider to be really good at teaching that it's hard to find the good ones.
Yeah.
Is that because they teach in a traditional style? I'm curious now because in HEMA it's so much focus is on sparring, and because we have to validate our research.
Right.
And do you have that sparring culture in China as well, or is it trained in different ways?
I have to say that the sparring culture was almost all missed in China. That's one of the reasons I don't trust those masters, because they don't have any sparring experience. They know techniques. They know those techniques passing from the masters before them, but they don't know how to use them in a real fight.
So but at some point, of course, they must have had amazing real skills.
Of course. Yeah.
So what do you think we in HEMA need to do to make sure we do not end up in a similar situation where people doubt us because they don't believe we have genuine skills.
Tournament.
Tournament.
The tournament.
The tournament.
Yeah.
But
Yes, I would suggest you might ask if more and more people are worried that HEMA will become sport fencing. I think that's that every HEMA practices must remind this: winning is not everything. Winning in tournament is not everything. It's just part of this art, part of this martial arts. Yeah.
Okay, you've mentioned that you and your team might come to Swordfish next year.
Yes, I do.
I hope so, and I've seen some really nice Chinese fencing here, so I absolutely hope that you can make it.
Okay, so I hope so too.
Weili, Chen, thank you so much for
Thank you,
talking to us.
Axel.
Right.
Yeah.